welcome back to the 1216 podcast. It's your host 12, and you know what it is already. When you see me on the screen, you know what's coming. It's a bomb video. We're here with some One Piece chapter manga review for the latest chapter, 1089. Under Siege is the name of this chapter, and boy, it wasn't a lot of action inside of it, but we did get treated to some good things. So without further ado, let's get this shit. All right, so we start off with a cover letter, of course, the cover of the chapter, and the cover of the chapter is kind of funny. Oda actually wrote everything out in English too as well, which is pretty cool to see the translations for. But we got to see that the cow delivering a message to Nami while Nami was upstairs writing maps. We haven't seen Nami write maps in a long time, but I am glad to see her back in her map room writing her maps because she wants to write a map of the whole world. That's her dream, so let's continue to get that dream going strong. But this cow delivers a message, and it's from Sanji asking Nami to come watch the stars with her for tonight, and she simply replies, "Nope, I already watched them earlier." You gotta love how Nami always turns down Sanji's simp ass. But to get started into it, we fast forward a little bit, and we are inside the chapter itself now. When the chapter starts off, we see Fuchsia Village first. Fuchsia Village, of course, we know that is the home of Monkey D. Luffy, where he grew up at, as well as the Don, the mayor of the Windmill Village, all of that stuff. Ace was there, Sabo outside. He was outside inside the noble part of it, of course, but it was all attached to the same island. But we're in Fuchsia Village right now, where Shanks also resigned at, because we got to see a lot. Shanks spent a lot of his time there, which we will talk about soon. But since we are inside Fuchsia Village, we get news, papers delivered, and as we see, the mayor is going crazy along with other people because we get the question of what has happened to Garp. Why is Garp, drumline please, missing in action? That is all that's written inside the newsletter to keep people up to date, and that's what we're going to get into. Of course, it's amazing that, you know, we do get to see Fuchsia Village because Fuchsia Village is very important to Garp. That's what Garp found, his home to be for the most part. Where Luffy was raised at, his grandkids were all raised there. Fuchsia Village, of course, they're all going to always be worried. Makino, the mayor, everybody. So the mayor is looking at the paper and reading through it and just hears laughter in the background and snaps, not realizing that this is Makino's child. Also, it may be the child of Shanks, but who knows who this baby's father really is. I'm going to keep the theory that, the baby can't be 2 yet, or it could be 2 actually. It could be 2, because that'd be the time that Shanks spent there up to when he was leaving to where we're at right now currently, because it's only been about 2.5 years-ish since Luffy set off on his journey. For us, it's been 27 years. Amazing long time how anime works. But to get back into it, it's been really interesting to see just how adaptable the storyline is going. So we see the Dawn as well, crying her eyes out because she sees that, Garp is in trouble. Luffy's all over the newspaper. He's the emperor of the sea now. And the Dawn is just in tears. And she says strictly, "What's going on, Garp and Luffy? I hope you're okay." Y'all know how the Dawn feels about them. She may be a hard ass on the outside, but she's a big softie for them on the inside. As you see what happened when Ace passed away. The Dawn went crazy when Garp showed up. She was punching him and all kinds of stuff. So, of course, the Dawn has strong feelings towards the Monkey D family and whoever they bring around her in general. That makes you wonder as well, because Sabo spent a lot of time there, and I know the Dawn, for the most part, does care about Sabo as well. I wonder if she knows that Sabo's alive, or if Sabo even reached out to her to talk a little bit, because I know Sabo's going through the whole, I'm dead, I got amnesia, and people forget about me because I've grown up. But I wonder, does the Don and Sabo keep in touch now? That since Dressrosa, at least, when Luffy and Sabo reunited again, and Sabo got the Mera no Mi. I wonder if they keep in contact. But I'm getting off topic. Back to the chapter review. We see all the islands around the world in the East Blue and the North Blue and the Grand Line, all islands everywhere, the West Blue, being shaken up or, hit by massive typhoons or tsunamis because of what happened with Lulusia Kingdom, and how Aim Sama dropped a giant nuke on them just to get rid of them. It's crazy to see that affected the entire world. The mother flame that was dropped on Lulusia Kingdom to wipe it completely off the face of Earth, of where we're at. It's crazy to just look at it and just think, wow, like, you just wiped out an entire island, flooded a few other ones, caused massive earthquakes to some other ones all across the land from this one giant beam that came down to wipe it out. So it is interesting. I hope that we get to see more of the aftermath that comes up, and hope the villages are pretty much safe for the most part, because some of them aren't apart. Some of them may be rebellious. I know we saw Wano inside there. Wano was a little bit in the background because we see Momonosuke, grown Momonosuke out there. So it was interesting to see the sheer utter destruction that this is causing. But outside of that, we get back to the chapter, and the chapter, of course, is going strong. Get back to Egghead Island as we see massive destruction is going on outside of Egghead Island, and it's because the Marines are fighting the Mecha Sea Beast, the sea creatures, of course, that were created by Vegapunk to protect Egghead Island. They're replicating sea kings and sea creatures. That way, people can't just walk up to Egghead Island without getting into a fight with them. But we see a giant beam come out, a beam of light, and that beam of light just sheer destroys a giant mecha. And Sentomaru gets up on there and says, "Hey, stop laying hands on my weaponized sea beast." And Sentomaru is talking to no other than Sentomaru's on the phone with the 9 admirals that's there, but is speaking directly towards her uncle Barcelona, aka aka Kizaru. Admiral Kizaru is there as well. Kizaru is eating a bowl of noodles, and as we see, Kizaru and Sentomaru have back and forth conversation. It gets interesting, because we see that they do have a long history with Vegapunk, because Vegapunk's inventions and also Sentomaru's ideas that go along with it have light beams, and these light beams were helped and created by, or inspired by, I should say, Kizaru. Many years ago, we see a young Vegapunk and a young Sentomaru jumping around and dancing, and it's a light show by Kizaru. He's shooting his finger pistol off inside the air, and it's just like a fireworks going off. And Sentomaru just can't believe that they're trying to kill Uncle Vegapunk, and there's no reason, to protect him, is what Kizaru tells Sentomaru, because it's his own choice for trying to investigate and uncover the Void Century. Kizaru says he has no control over it. He has to follow the orders of the Marines, because that's who pays him and that's who he works for. Similar to what Garp did. So, of course, it was always a good thing to see. I love seeing them when they get to interact with one another. This interaction between Sentomaru and Kizaru is actually really it's a fun dynamic for me. I would say it's a fun dynamic, because we all know that Sentomaru inspired to make the Pacifista, and the Pacifista are based off the Tyrant King himself. And the Tyrant King, we all know, is the father of Juribani. So it's just a lot of, family ties all around that's being played inside this. But of course, we do see that if we look closely inside one of the Marine ships, that we see Jay Garcia Saturn riding inside there. And Jay Garcia Saturn is heading towards Egghead Island himself. We all seen when he left the Gurusei to hop on board and arrive there with over 100 battleships. This is more destructive power than a Buster Call that's needed. So of course, it was interesting to see you have more than a Buster Call. Kizaru was there as well, and now we have Jay Garcia, one of the 5 Gurusei, one of the 5 elders, approaching. And we look at him when we first get a good scene of him. He's sitting there eating a glizzy, a grilled glizzy. So, I mean, to each his own. That's what he likes to do. Hey, more power to you, buddy. But with Jay Garcia there arriving, we see that we know that we have Vegapunk inside there. We have Vegapunk and his conscience, the 6 conscience he has that's bringing down. We have the Seraphines inside there. We have the Mugiwara Pirates inside there. The CP0 agents inside there. The Pacifistas that's there. It's a lot of people in Egghead Island so far that it's just overwhelming how much power is in Egghead itself. And of course, we know Rob Lucci is there with Kaku, and Kaku and Rob Lucci had no chance to face up against Zoro and Luffy with their new awakened abilities and training of their haki that they've been going over now since they have all 3 forms. They have no chance of even holding a candle to them or holding a match to them, I should say. But Jay Garcia is, of course, sitting down and he's just talking about what should happen. He said, if anybody escapes, make sure you sink them immediately. Those are his exact words that he said out his mouth. And it's interesting because we do know, well, it's not interesting, but it's how do I say? It's kind of like we seen that coming from him because of just how Im-sama is. Like, oh, their rebellion, fuck it, mother flame, blow them up, wipe out of history, get rid of them. So it's very interesting to see just the thought process that didn't happen at all. His first thing was strictly anybody tried to leave or did anybody leave, and if they did, make sure that you go, you track them down and confirm their current positions and sink them immediately, whoever it was. So, of course, the Marines have to follow suit, and I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to do, start tracking down those who left. But then we get a call upon the transponder snail from Egghead Island going to Kizaru. And it's a long ring. All you hear is bada 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 bada, and then Marie Joie picks up. Barcelona has the black snail on his wrist. He picks it up. The 5 elders the 4 elders who stayed behind, as well as Jay Garcia, who's on the ship. They all up on his line together, and it's no other than Stella. Stella is the Vegapunk again. Remember, she's the one who betrayed them and tried to trap them and trap all the other Vegapunks, the Straw Hat Pirates, and everybody. Stella is the one who betrayed them because Stella's dream is to become a celestial dragon, be a part of the 20 families. And Stella just wants that to be her dream and make that come true. So it makes no sense for her for what she's doing. That's what everybody's talking about. Why are you even calling us? You're a Vegapunk yourself. And Stella's trying to stay true to herself, saying that no, I may be a Vegapunk, but I'm not like them. I want to make sure that I do the right thing for the Marines and see the justice behind what's going on. So of course, we get CP0's inside there. They're not doing their job right. So now Stella has the solution to say, hey, I'm doing the job for them. I have the Seraphims under my control. I don't want you guys to wage war up on little old me. You guys, it's too many things out there, and I can help you out in the long way. And the Guru say up on a phone, on a call, like, oh, well, what can you do for us? Are you really that capable of replicating the Mother Flame alone? And Stella's immediate thing is yes, yes, yes. It's just a few things that Stella wants, of course, a special request that she asks for them. And that's for them not to lay hands on her or her laboratory. Of course, she wants to become a celestial dragon. And lastly, to save her because she is in trouble. And when she says that, her expression goes from a nice smile to tears coming down her eyes, and she's whining with her mouth wide open. And the Guru say and Kizaru are all sitting there shocked because they're like, what am I hearing right now? As we see the final panel of the chapter with Zoro facing his blade towards Stella's neck, we have another one of Vegapunk's. We have Vegapunk and some of the Vegapunk's inside there with a gun in her hand. We see the Straw Hat Pirates. We see Rob Lucci. Everybody's there, and she's screaming, "Help me! These cycles are out to unalive me." And because of that, we get the end of the chapter itself. And it sucks that we don't have a chapter next week because it ended off so good. Of course, it ended off, this final panel here is we got Luffy there. He's eating. Bonnie Jewelry is there. She's eating. We got Frankie in the background with Chopper. We got Usopp down on the ground holding a transponder snail up to Stella's face, being as sneaky as he always is. We got Zoro there with his blades and Jinbei munching down with Brook in the background, Vegapunk and one of Vegapunk's creations. Like, they're all there. Everybody's there eating, having a good time. And this is just how they end the chapter. There is a break next week, of course, and it sucks because I do want to see more of it. But I'm fine with waiting, as we move along. I'm glad we're back at Egghead. You all know we took a massive break from Egghead Island and the Straw Hat Pirates because we got to find out a lot about the Void Century and what's going on with Garp and the Rocky Port incident and what's going on with Sabo and the Revolutionary Army and everybody else that's going on with them. But I do want to say that it was weird seeing this final panel. And for me, in my opinion, I immediately thought to look at the panel as who's all there. If you guys look at the panel, you don't see Robin, you don't see Kaku, you don't see Stutzy. Where are all these people at? Where are they at? Like, what's going on? Why are you all missing? And it's very interesting to me. Whenever I do this stuff, I like to make sure that I pay attention for the most part. And I wonder if Robin and Kaku and Stutzy are all just away gathering intel, of course. And they're gathering intel for something that's going on or something that's going down inside, behind the scenes. So that's probably my biggest takeaway, I would say, from the video. It was very hard to see just what's going on and how it's affected by everything else. Other than that, peak. One Piece is you thought Wano was amazing aside of the anime for anime only watchers, but the manga, we're getting treated so fucking good. This chapter, we see all the Gorosei inside there. We see possibly Shanks and Makino's child, of course. We get information about just what's going on and the fact that Stella thinks that she can create the Mother Flame by herself as long as they save her. She has the knowledge to do it. I mean, probably does because she is a Vegapunk at the end of the day. but still, nonetheless, like, come on now, it's a lot of moving pieces here, and we still remember it's still two Titanic captains that are missing. Um, we haven't seen Van Auger and what's her name, the only female pirate that's a part of the Blackbeard pirate crew. I can't remember her name right now. Can't remember it right now, but they're still heading towards. I believe those are the two that's heading towards Egghead Island. And if they are, like, that's perfect because you have Van Auger with his long range abilities to just analyze everything, and then her abilities, of course, she can change her appearance to whatever she wants to change it to. It's think about Blonde Clay on a giant, massive upgraded scale. Like her entire appearance, I don't know if she can replicate. I don't know if she can replicate. I'm not sure if she could replicate their powers because if she is there, it'd be interesting to see if she replicates Jay Garcia. Something would have happened. Jay Garcia dies. He tried to interfere, and Luffy and Rob Lucci team up and take him out. And then as a matter of fact, let me look her name up real quick. Give me a quick second. Let me go look her name up. Yep. So Van Auger and Katarina Devon. Katarina Devon. We're missing both of them, and if Katarina could transform herself into Jay Garcia, like that'd be very interesting to see. She goes back and let's just make Teach one of the 20 families because that's what he wants to do anyway. Just to see how what can happen from that would be amazing, because it's a lot of different things that her fruit plays factor into, as well as Van Auger's fruit. So, man, questions, comments, concerns, add them aside here. Please talk to me. I want to know what your thoughts are on the chapter, of course, or if you even just enjoy me doing these chapter reviews. Please put it down low. We are officially over 200 subscribers, and we're trying to get that 250 goal. At 250, we will be doing a giveaway. So, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, of course. And again, stay in tune with the 1216 podcast, because we want to have everybody on. We even got something in store us cooking up for y'all real soon. But on that edition, this is 12 signing off.